Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see sunny conditions out there this morning, but also continuing to see those cold and breezy to windy conditions this morning as well. We are currently in a wind advisory, seeing peak winds over the last hour up to 44 miles per hour so far. So, again, continuing that windy and cold pattern. We'll see dry weather as we move through the remainder of the work week, and then as we get overnight Friday and into the start of the weekend, we will have some snow potentially moving in through our area. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have that tight pressure gradient over the region that's bringing those breezy conditions. That between this strong low off the New England coast as well as this area of high pressure off to our west, keeping that pressure gradient tight. We'll see this high pressure build in briefly over our region as we move through Friday. That's going to give us a day of some much lighter winds as we move through Friday, and then this little disturbance off here to the well off to the west and southern part of the country. We're going to see that tracking along the southeast and along the southeast coast, and bringing that next potential snow chance as we move overnight Friday into early Saturday. Looking at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding pretty much northwesterly winds through the entire column here, seeing our peak wind 59 knots at 25,000 feet. Freezing level this morning was at the surface. Take a look at the current visible satellite, not seeing any clouds out there, just a few low-level clouds well off the coast, but overall just seeing that snow cover across the region with those clear skies. Take a look at the high-res model, see how things play out for the next couple of days. Again, dry conditions prevail through today. As we continue to see that tight pressure gradient, we'll see breezy conditions. We'll slowly start to weaken those peak winds as we go into the evening and overnight time frame, but continuing with dry conditions and that high pressure starts to build in over the area. We'll start off slightly breezy on Friday, but gradually seeing those winds continuing to decrease through the day. And what we will see is increasing high clouds as we move through the day ahead of this next system that approaches the area. As you can see here, it looks like as this area of low pressure tracks just south of the local area, we're going to see what looks to be likely an all snow event for the most part, but again, could see some shift in this as we move over the next 24 hours, as we are seeing the models kind of shift back and forth on a few parameters here. But right now it looks like expecting all snow to begin as we get past the midnight time frame Friday evening. It does look like this will be a fairly light snow as this sets into the area and pushes through as we go into the start of the day on Saturday. As you can see, that rain snow line with the model here pretty close to the local area, so could see that shift as well, possibly bringing either a mixing of some rain in with that activity. So it does look like we will see some snow as we go through Friday evening into early Saturday morning. That area of low pressure will pull out as we go through the day Saturday. We should see those precip chances tapering off, mainly as we get past the 10 a.m. time frame, and then we'll start to see breaks in the clouds and some slightly breezy conditions developing behind the system as well. As we go into Sunday, we'll zoom out here, look at the European model starting Saturday evening. Going into Sunday, high pressure quickly builds in and sets in over the area for Sunday, and it's going to keep temperatures slightly warmer than what we have been seeing, and it's also going to reduce those winds and provide plenty of sunshine to help melt any potential snow that does fall through the area. That continues as we go into Monday with, again, continuing slightly below average temperatures, but again, not as cold as what we have been seeing, and continuing the dry weather as we go through the remainder of the first half of the week. As we get later in the week, it does look like we will see colder temperatures once again creeping back into our region, and we'll also see some slightly breezy to breezy conditions moving in as well. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, main risk today will be those elevated winds. Do have that red risk for winds above 25 knots through the entirety of the day and into the first part of the evening before dropping down to an orange risk right around midnight. Do expect those peak winds to continue out of the northwest, 15 to 20 knots, gusting up to 35 knots, we will see our high temperature of 32 degrees, likely just briefly hitting that, but for the most part of the day, staying below freezing. I do have that there's low teens for our wind chills this morning, and likely getting into the upper teens, possibly low 20s as we get into the afternoon. And then once again, we'll gradually start dipping back down into those low teen wind chills, and then eventually we pick up that red risk where we'll expect those single-digit wind chills through the morning hours of Friday morning, expecting our low temperature down, our actual low temperature around 20 degrees. But again, we will start to see those winds backing off during the Friday morning time frame. Starting the day tomorrow would peak gusts up around 19 knots. Not expecting much in the way of cloud cover. Should see clear skies through much, if not all, of the day today. We'll have a few high clouds starting to move into the area as we get to the start of the day on Friday. Tides running about a half a foot below normal. If we look at the extended forecast here, Friday will be a much quieter day and slightly warmer day. We'll likely see temperatures getting above freezing for our Friday, but we'll see increasing high clouds around and less in the way of breeziness. Not expecting a wind advisory as we move through our day on Friday. Friday evening, that's when we'll see that next system pushing through. Looks to be about 90% chance of seeing what looks to be likely a snow event with right now good chance of seeing 1 to 2 inches of accumulation. Again, seeing some slight changes in some of the modeling coming out that could dictate whether we see some more rain mixing in or some additional accumulation. But right now, good chance we'll see 1 to 2 inches as we move into this event, and that should be wrapped up as we get into the start of the day on Saturday, again, mainly before or at about 10 a.m. on Saturday. And then behind that, we'll see the clouds starting to break and some additional sun moving through and some slightly breezy conditions. High, once again, above freezing for Saturday with a high of 37. And we will stay sunny and above freezing as we move Sunday into Monday with our high temperatures in the upper 30s on Sunday, and for once getting above 40 as we move into Monday with a high of 41 expected. So that will help any potential accumulation as well as some of the remnants of the last system to finally start to melt and clear out of the area. Going into Tuesday and Wednesday, we will start to see a breeze pick up once again, and we'll see temperatures lowering back down into the mid-30s and low 30s as we move through Tuesday and Wednesday with some additional breezy conditions. But overall, I do expect some sunshine as we move through that period as well. We'll see those low temperatures over the extended period behind the system, pretty much staying in the low 20s and possibly reaching the upper teens as we get into the middle part of the week. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.